spoke on your pops. That lead into the last one. So your pops met your mom in church, right?
Yeah.
So
I forgot about this topic.
Relationships in church. You know how you feel about
relationships in church. So I believe that church can give a false security when it comes to relationships. When you meet these people, you meet them at church. Usually when you go to church, you have on your Sunday morning face, your Sunday morning clothes, your Sunday morning attitude, your Sunday morning persona, right? But you don't know them for real. You don't know if they you don't know how they are when they live. You know, all you see is the clean presentation. You don't know how they really are. It gives you a false sense of hope because you're like, oh, Sister Johnson over there looking good as, ooh, girl, them stockings. Come on around for offering. You get to Sister Johnson house. Sister Johnson house looking like Deacon Johnson, somebody, she need to be him, not her, because the house clean, looking like basketball flows and all kind of crazy stuff. It just gives you a false security and a false sense of who they are. Now, as my pops say, you're supposed to collect data and do all that dating and all that kind of stuff, right? Church people don't really date like that, though. They date in church, or I'll say old school church people, because nowadays
they get straight to it.
These church people, they're not the same as what I grew up with when I'm talking about, you know, Deacon Hattie or Sister Melinda, or these people, these old school, you know what I mean? I'm talking from where I came from. You know, my days. I was born in the 80s, so that's 40 years ago now.
God damn.
Exactly. Nah, nigga, for sure. I'll be 40 this year.
God
but I'm still lit and just might take your trick. Say no. My son already know I'm lit. He know the vibes. He been with me his whole life.
So would you attending church and everything you think is
what
good
you
or
think
bad?
About church,
like, you
man?
know, finding somebody in church.
Are you active in church or do you go to church? Are you in church?
Not right now, no.
Before,
but you been in church before?
I did grow up in church.
Did you see any successful relationships come out of that?
Yeah, I see a bunch of marriages, and I seen a bunch of failed marriages too. But I see the more traditional living people more so attend church. I mean, it's a little bit everybody, but for the most part, I see more so. Well, the older folks getting married. It's some younger folks who get married. Like it's my coach and his wife, rest in peace, who just passed away. His nephew just took over his father's church, House of Prayer and Praise on 6 Mile.
Yeah, I know him.
Wyoming.
Steve, the Bennetts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Bishop Bennett. I know Steve Bennett. Go back with them a long time. They were part of Full Gospel Baptist with my dad, so I actually grew up with them. House of Prayer and Praise.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
But go ahead, finish your story. Don't let me.
Yeah, I watched it.
Them ain't got to be your niggas just because they mine.
But yeah, so I see, you know, he's a young pastor. He's married. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I see. I haven't really got into church to see how the young folks are with their relationships, but I can only imagine it's probably like high school.
No,
you
know? Yeah. I've just never had. I've seen examples of relationships and marriages in church. Have they been successful all the time? No, but what I will say is I've seen those relationships last a little bit longer. I don't know if it's the whole community. You know, divorce is not an option because of Christianity thing. But I've seen a lot of dirty stuff go down inside of marriages that's lasted the longest, right?
Yes.
But I think, you know, they say through better or worse and all that kind of good stuff. And I mean, I done seen some of the worst. You know,
we seen some of the best too. Like you said, with
I've had the best.
Yeah.
But that was one scenario, right? Compared to. So both sides of my family are church people, right? My side of the family, Davis, are. My dad's a pastor. His grandfather was a pastor. On my mom's side, she's a preacher. Her dad was a pastor, and his dad was whatever, preaching, elder, deacon, whatever. So both sides of my family go back to great-grandparents of being in church. So I've seen, yes, a great marriage that lasted 60 years?
62.
62 years, right? So I've seen the best of the best, but I've also seen marriages that lasted 40 and 50 years, and the guy has 4 and 5 kids outside the marriage. So I've seen both sides of longevity, but I mean, different viewpoints and different kind of, you know, end results. You got one guy who, you know, smoked cigarettes and had a little wine here and there, but he was integral. He went home to his wife every day. You know, he didn't have outside children. Then I had another man who He was holier than thou, speaking in tongues, shouting, doing all that. But he had all the hoes.
I think it boiled down to though when it comes to
I'm talking, bro. I'm not even gonna get in this conversation because my mom just went on a tangent about this, about people talking about the family on these podcasts and all that, and I'm not about to go there because. But I gotta speak my truth though.
But what I say,
the vibes.
But I say it boiled down to what he's talking about with our grandparents. He believed in church. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people playing church. So it's a big difference. Like
nowadays, it's even worse.
Yeah, they're not even playing. They just showing up. So it's a big difference. We're gonna touch on that. That'll be another show. Yeah. But like you said, it's seen all of those different dynamics. Within like the church when it came to relationships. Seeing dudes coming to church every Sunday with a different wife. You know what I mean? Like,
for real.
Every Sunday. Yeah. And he would introduce them.
That's tough.
Like it was
introduced
the
them?
first. Yes. Each time, like it was the first. So I mean, like I said, we go into that.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, like you got a lot of different dynamics. Yeah.
The same church.
The same church. Different women every Sunday.
I think another thing that I notice is it doesn't allow you to know what their true like work ethic is. And like, what's their drive? Because all you really see is the Sunday appearance, right? So you don't get to see like, just her drive for real or his drive. Because you got a lot of dudes who dress up for church and look good, but they go home and sleep in their mama's basement. So we can't just put it all on the girls because it's both sides of this. You know what I mean? You got bum dudes, but they dress up so good, but they don't tell you that they got an alcohol addiction. They don't tell you soon as we leave church, I'm going to get a bottle, and we turn it, you know what I mean? So you get to see, like I said earlier, it gives you a false sense of security about a person.
Yeah, I see what you
I'd rather meet you in the club and know you you like to twerk and you whatever, than to meet this facade and then get home, and I'm like, damn, she don't even clean up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't, but she look good in stockings in a church, in a St. John suit. So that's my, real. I don't know. That's my own little personal spiel about it. Y'all drop what y'all want to drop in the comments too. Let us know what y'all feel about it.
We're gonna go more into this as far as church relationships and
we're gonna talk a lot about church this season.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's some of the dynamics you see, like you said, as far as guys, putting a representative on coming into church on Sunday and then, taking it off after you leave out, as far as like.
And they the biggest dope dealer in the world. We're going to wrap this episode up. Uncle Ray, thank you for having us in your boom boom room. We'll be back.
Pause.
Next.
That was crazy.
Bro. This is Uncle, listen.
What did you mean by that?
This is Uncle Ray's boom boom room. It is the room that we may have to get a little boom boom. You ain't never watched Life?
Yeah, Paul.
You seen Ray's boom boom room?
Yeah, I'm joking.
Damn, man! Shout out to Uncle Ray for holding us down. Nah, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you for having our special guest today. Yeah, shout out to Woodrow the Entertainer. Hopefully, we'll have him a few more times this season. I want y'all to comment, like, subscribe, share, tune in to the Cobain Report featuring Rock Cobain and Tramell. See y'all next week. We out. It's a wrap, bitch.